This presentation is brought to you by the City of Greensboro's Economic Development and Business Support Office.
I had to become ill to know that this is what I needed to do. On a trip to Senegal, I basically fell ill for 3 days because back then I wanted to show someone my beloved drink of the hibiscus drink. That was the first company. And just to realize that when people were like, where have you been? You know, if you've made it, who asks for these drinks? It's for the villagers. When hibiscus is the best drink there can be. It's so full of antioxidants, great levels of vitamin C, really great against urinary tract infection. Think cranberry, multiply the virtues by 100. I just got so sick to my stomach. I got sick to my stomach, so disappointed in these people that are in my contemporaries. The fact that they just anything that comes from them has to be so they belittle it. And then the women who used to grow the hibiscus, they were losing their livelihoods, leaving the countryside, going into the cities, trying to find jobs. There they end up in prostitution. The kids are begging on the street. It's a cycle of poverty that they get themselves into. And at the same time also, my culture is dying out. And at the same time, I am bombarded with news of fishermen's boat full of our youngest, most entrepreneurial people dying at sea, trying to make it to Europe in little fishermen's boat to get a job. Overwhelming. I got ill, 3 days, body not functioning. All I wanted was to die. And eventually, finally this person said, Magatte, this energy, anger is energy, but it's negative energy. I want you to turn this into something positive where it becomes inspiration. Into something positive where it becomes inspiration. And it started to make sense. And with that and this idea of criticize by creating, it all started to make sense. And I said, again, it's your job. Right now you're busy blaming someone else. That's why you're angry. But bring the power back on you. It's up to you to do something about it. And that's when I started, that's when I decided, you know what? Oh, just by magic, I got up. And my idea was there. I'm going to build a beverage company. I'm going to build it in the US first, so by the time we're big and hot, these Africans are going to be like, oh yeah, that's the cool thing to drink, because we heard that in the US, the elite, that's what they drink. Whatever. Let's do the reverse colonialism on them, like I said, for this one generation, and the next one will be all good. So, and as I was doing that, I just realized that it was deeper than that for me. It was deeper than just the drink. And I realized that what I was doing for the drink, I'm actually eventually going to want to do about everything in my life. From Senegal, I brought back some of the hibiscus leaves. So when I went back to the US, because I was really not very sophisticated back then, I called, I basically registered my DBA, doing business as, so I went and I registered my little business, and you pay $30 and you get, into the newspaper. I followed it that way. So basically it was kind of a sole proprietorship. That's how I got it started. That's all I knew what to do. But at least the business was legal. And then I went and I opened my little bank account, put whatever money that I had into that. At the same time, I had these leaves that I brought back with me. I kind of knew what the recipe should be like because I've been drinking it forever. So I went and I bought, this pineapple juice, and I bought, my sugar, the cane sugar. I bought all my ingredients. I went back to the house and I bought some thermometers, made the stuff boil. When it got to boil, then I turned it off and put the leaves in there and left it for 5 minutes, counting the time, and then strained the whole thing, sugared the whole thing, then put it into bottles, glass bottles, and then had my little bucket of ice with water in it, because that's how you pasteurize things, by the way, if you guys didn't know. So dump my bottle in there, everything gets pasteurized, because then when you open it, you hear that, noise that tells you it got pasteurized. So did all of those things, and then got my little cooler, sticked some ice in it, and before I did that, I invited 20 friends of mine, my little guinea pigs, and I had them all come to the house, put them around the table, and I had them try all types of combinations of drink. And some of this stuff was green, some of it was purple, and some of it was really too sour, some of it was really too sweet, but all of these in-betweens, and having them, okay, tell me, version A, what do you get? And they had a sheet. I prepared a sheet for them to tell me what they thought. And then I kind of picked the 2 best winners, out of that I also liked. And with those, I made them. And then I made them, stuck them in my little cooler with ice in it. And then I went to the closest Whole Foods, the Whole Foods in my neighborhood, and I asked to talk to the manager there. And I said, hi, my name is Magatte, and I'm starting this beverage company. And I explained to them why, the story I told you. I told them exactly the same story. And I said, look at these great beverages we have. And I had one for the hibiscus, one for the ginger. And I'm like, is it something that you would be interested in? And he's like, where did you make this? And I'm like, in my kitchen. And he's like, and so but he opened it, he could tell, and I explained to him what I did, and whatever. So he tried the juice, and these are good. And so he said, I'll tell you what, if you can make them in a proper way, I'll take a few cases of each. That's really how it got started. And so as I was doing that, I was going to more little delis and shops and places like that. And at the same time, I was looking for a partner in the business. And that's how, through my research, I came through the founder of Odwalla. You guys know Odwalla. So I took him out of retirement to come and join me on this journey. And that was my partner in the business. And that's just how it started. This whole myth and mystery that, it must have been a huge step. It's no huge step. It's like, this is what I want to do. Well, take the first step. At least at the very minimum, even if you don't know how to register your business, at least get the prototype going. Prototype is, you can do it in your kitchen, and even if it's not something that you can, my labels at first, how they were. I'm not a graphic designer, but I'm not going to spend money on a graphic designer yet. So what I do is I take a piece of paper, and sometimes even it's a drawing by myself, like a drawing, because I can't get the drawing done on the computer. And then I would write on the computer, like the words and everything, cut it all up, and put it around my bottle or around my jar. See how it looks. From there, kind of adjust a few things. And then, because you want to put an idea in front of people. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection, although I'm a perfectionist, perfection is your enemy. But so it's just get started. Anybody that you respect, I bet you, if you looked at a good biography of theirs, you will see those moments where it was not always great. And so that will just remind you that anything that has any huge person today had to go through hurdles at some point. And that will really keep you in check, and it will help you just stay in your truth when that happens. I don't care what product or service you're going to create. You have to be product-centric, service-centric, because people, at the end of the day, you're selling something. But always go back to the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is what people are going to care about. Because you may never need my cream, but it doesn't. But you can be interested in the issues I'm talking about and find a way to tap into it. So for me, it became very important to develop my voice, a voice that's not about selling my product, but a voice that's about sharing these ideas with people.